Hi guys, welcome to the next part. We're going to do number 4, which is on page 25 of the book. And this is the tradition of the movement of clouds. Now, let me read a couple of sections to you. So, to communicate an urgent message from where you are on a covert mission, you should arrange for relay messengers. These messengers should be arranged at intervals and they should relay messages by running from one person to another. In later times this became express messengers, but there is a way to do this discreetly, but it's only a way to be used in peacetime. In this case you should have commoners instead of bushi perform this. So what that means is that, of course, there are no telephones back in the Sengoku period, there are nothing like that. So what they would do is set up different types of relaying message. Now, for example, the one we just spoke about is men at set positions. So if an army was set out on a battle camp or they're going across mountains and terrain, to communicate with the army is not just one big group of people like Monty Python style with the halberds sticking out the top as they all move and the dust runs around their feet. They can be miles apart, they can be hundreds of feet apart, they can be very far apart, and they can't actually tell people what's going on. So what they would do, they would actually send shinobi as relay messengers. So set up shinobi between sort of camp A, camp B, or position A, position B, position C, and shinobi would run with messages across, maybe memorized, maybe in code form with memory hooks, all that type of things. It gets, you know, there's not one set way you use anyway. So what would happen is you would run between each other. But what he's saying is that in the times of war, that is done by bushi, that's done by warriors. But in times of peace, what you do is you have something called relay messages, and this is done by non-bushi, this is done by commoners. And this is where just messengers who run like, you know, basically a postal service, or you want a package delivering to this town and you're from that town, you pay like a quick messenger. And what you would do is you would pay the messenger, you know, basically you would get these people to pretend they were messengers, or you use a messenger, and what they do is they talk about what they're doing is, let me get this right, they're moving the price of fish. So for example, okay, the price of fish has gone up 5 yen today, or the price of fish has gone down here today. But in reality, some of those people would actually be shinobi, and they would be communicating information back and forward. So they look like they're trying to get the price of fish, but in reality they're getting information ready for the forces to invade. So there's some good tricks in this one. So of course you can break it down into flags. So flags are used. So things like messages on bamboo, lights on bamboo you hold, things like that. But one of my favourites is this, which I think is a genius principle, if you will, is a light behind an object or in front of an object. So if you've got a message, let's say yes or no, so positive or negative, affirmed, you know, or not. What you would do is put a big light, like a torch or a fire, in front of something, or a big light behind something. So let's say no is your answer. If I put a big fire behind a tree, that means the observing people see the silhouette of a tree. That means the answer is no, if I remembered my own code correctly. If I want to say yes, what I do is I put the fire in front of the actual tree. This means there's no silhouette of a tree, there's just a fire with probably the highlights on a tree. So it's very distinctive. You've got silhouette versus actual physical object. So the principle here is relay messages without modern communication, but having it pre-arranged so there's no problems. Now, if you've ever tried this just for fun, I have, and not recently, it was years ago, I'm like a teenager. It's really difficult. If something gets confused or there's a question, you're like, but what does that mean, and what about this and what about that? Everything gets very confused very quickly. So this is about very strict controlled messages in any form. So the principle inside of this one, number 4, is pre-arranged messages that can be relayed across great distances, like beacons on hills and things like that. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep following me on Facebook, Anthony Cummings, and go to this. I've stopped the comments in these videos simply because I want people to come to the Historical Ninjutsu research team and comment there. And I'm sure Josh will have a video up soon in reply to this.